So, but we actually have to face that camera. So, hold on for a second.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
Thank you everybody for the whole. Welcome to the first show of Married with Spit.
Hello, everyone.
Receive this. Say hello there.
Hello.
Yep. All right. That's working. Okay. All right. Honey bump.
Hey.
Welcome to the first show of many. Lost my cushion somewhere. Oh well. So, I'm excited. It's good.
Okay. I'm like, gotta dip in.
I know. A little dip
I'm
here.
just sitting here.
Good. All right. So, first of all, this show has been sponsored by Boom, the Goon Squad. This is our first show. We're gonna be doing this every Saturday at 6 p.m. Okay, and also we are accepting embers and donations to help improve the stream. So when we having struggle buses like we had earlier, trying to get the stream started. The reason why my hair is like this is because I was pulling it out trying to get things started. This is my lovely wife, the Queen Goon. The Queen Goon. Tasha. Want a gamer name? You want a gamer name?
Huh?
You want a gamer name?
Yeah, you can get
What?
something else.
What game would be your gamer name?
I don't know.
You come up with something.
Brown sugar something.
Okay, Brown Sugar Goon. There we go. Brown Sugar Goon. Okay, so Brown Sugar.
Right.
This is the segment where we're going to talk about relationships, the good and the bad, giving out advice, experiences that we have had, and how we came through a lot of other things as far as like situations that happen within our marriage, within our lives. Also, we're going to talk about like what stuff we was going to talk about.
Well, we said that we were going to talk about different topics like trust and communication and how important it is in a marriage to be successful. We were talking about just being honest, like and open.
Okay. So those are things, a lot of those, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And of course, we're going to be doing this for a very long time, and we are going to come up with a lot of subjects. We might have some shows where we're doing some Q&A. But May 24th will be our 10-year anniversary.
Yes, 10 years.
10 beautiful years. We've been married, and we've known each other since we was at a very, very, very young age.
Since the age of 8.
Yeah, and I was, what, 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. We grew up, like, we grew up in a church organization, so we were just friends from the beginning, because we always seen each other, we hang out with each other when we're out of town. She's from Columbus, Ohio. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, so you know our house clash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go blue. Yeah. So anyway. First topic, what we're going to talk about?
We can talk about communication.
Communication. So my question to you is, like, for a wife, when it comes to communication, communication could be anything. And sometimes communication can be bad, but it depends. The type of communication that you have, or the way you give the communication. So my question to you is, far as a wife and for a woman, what do you expect when it comes down to communication?
What I expect when it comes down to communication is just being upfront, being upfront and being honest about whatever it is that you're trying to communicate, or whatever point you're trying to get across. Some people can say if you are too honest in communication and you say something, it's going to hurt the other person. But if you are really willing to just work as a team in a marriage, whether the communication be something you want to know or you don't want to know, you can't really get upset, with the other person, because they at least put that information out there for you. So good communication would be, just your expectation, not playing a guessing game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
be clear.
Be clear. If it's something that I want you to do, I'm not just going to just give you bits and pieces and then expect you to fulfill everything when you really don't know what I want. Yeah, so I think
now,
being clear.
I want to say this. As far as the clear part, okay, we both are, we're guilty of it, but there's been times where we communicate, but we wasn't fully clear. We may be one word or two words off that threw the whole thing awry. And probably in your head, or in my head, I heard what I wanted to say.
Right.
But when it came down from my brain to my esophagus, to my vocal cords, and out my mouth, it came out maybe one or two words different that kind of threw the whole game off.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my wife, I love you, baby.
Love you too.
There was a time she asked me to do something and was nowhere clear of what she actually wanted to be done. Okay. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I have done that a lot, and not just one incident. I've done that multiple times, because honestly, I think good communication comes with growth as a person. Sometimes as women, we expect things that we are not clear about what we're expecting. I've done it a lot.
Hey, man, thank you for all the hope. Appreciate you, man.
I've done it a lot of times. But now, as I've grown, I try to be more clear about what I truly want.
Now, as you see, what I have listed there is my links to my YouTube and a lot of social media stuff. I do a lot of content outside of Mixer. So I hope y'all really enjoy this and everything. I really appreciate y'all coming through with the host. Whew, excuse me.
Sorry, give me a second.
No problem. But I want to say this, though, is that as far as when it comes to communication, it is definitely key in a relationship, in a marriage. Communication, and with the communication is be cordial.
Yes. Very, very important.
Yeah, that's important. Be cordial. And me personally, I see a lot of problems in marriages, especially when it comes from a guy's point of view. When they'll communicate, but they be so rude and harsh with it, and like that's what a lot of marriages is this. Me personally, I think with a lot of problems with marriage, they're not cordial with each other.
Right.
They are always at war. ready to say something to hurt that person or try to win.
Yeah,
what you
try to
winning
win
for?
is like we're supposed to be trying to win together as a
right.
team, not compete against each other.
Not these little small little battles, you know, small little battles you're trying to win on each other, like you're trying to keep score.
Right.
And no, me personally, it's just, I knew. Let me give y'all a little background. See, and most people are talking about. It's not all about love and everything. Anybody say it's not about love, that's a lie. You don't need to be with nobody.
Yeah.
You don't need to be with nobody. You know, I've been in a lot of relationships, and I love big and I love hard. Okay, if I say I love you, I'm trying to like give you my all. But with my wife, now I just want to pause on the communication and just give you a little background on our relationship. You know, we grew up together, and years ago, I love saying this story. I love saying this. Years ago, years ago, I say I was 19 at the time. And honestly, I didn't even know her age. The way she carried herself, I thought she may be like 1 or 2 years younger than me. Not knowing she was 4 years younger than me, okay? So, when I was 19, we was at a church event in Buffalo, New York. And, I'm going to do this up real quick. There we go. We was in Buffalo, New York. It was a convocation going on. It was a Catholic event. No, it was convocation. Convocation. So we had, near the end, it was that Sunday. But it was that Sunday when I approached her. But when I was I was in this 15 passenger with my band that I played on at my church. Driving there, and I was all the way in the back. You know, I stayed to myself, Virgo. All I could think about was her. For some reason, I could stop thinking about her. I saw her face. I saw her smile. And by the time I got to Buffalo, I was like, I gotta have her in my life. I don't know what, if I could just be her friend, her close friend, I just wanted to be there. So, I back then, besides this man right here, this confident man that you have in front of you, I wasn't confident back then. So I had to build up the courage to talk to her. So it took the whole weekend. Anyway,
Okay.
It took the whole weekend. So what I did was, you know, when the service is about over with, I asked her, I had to, 'cause I'm watching her the whole weekend, and she come, hey, and I'm like, God, I want to be with her. I just wanted to be with her. So when I finally got the courage and the coons to talk to her, I asked her, like, can you come follow me? I just need to talk to you real quick. And I said, this was exactly what I said. I don't know if you're with anybody.
Right, you said that.
I don't know how you feel about me, but I really, really like you, and I don't know if you want, maybe me, you could be just friends, get to know each other, because I really would like to. Soon as I said, I really would like to get to know you. Her older brother, Sean, which is my man, that's my brother, came around the corner and was like, Tasha, get over here.
Yeah.
And she didn't say one word to me and was like, boom, gone.
And you have to understand why I didn't say anything, because at that point I was so young, I wasn't even looking for a relationship. You know, I was just a young teenage girl, you know, just living my life. So when you were saying this to me, I'm looking like, a relationship? Like what? I'm like young. I'm supposed to be focusing on school and stuff like that, not a relationship.
See, that's my naive self. I didn't even know. I thought we was closer in age. The way she carried herself, I thought we was closer in age than 4. And I'm like,
right.
And then years later, I didn't realize she was 4 years younger than me.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh my God, I was about to be a little pedophile.
Well, you didn't.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Way it was just You didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know at all. So, anybody that's coming through, welcome to the show. This is Mary Spit. This is my wife, Brown Sugar.
Yes, Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar. This is my wife. We just talking about marriages and everything like that, and relationships. So this is a show that we're going to be doing every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got to say that because I have people all around the world watching me. So, back to what I was saying. So, years and years later, you know, she been through
after a failed marriage.
Yeah, after a failed marriage.
I mean, that's just
it.
Just being honest and open.
She went through a failed marriage. She went through a failed marriage. I went through a failed marriage, and
life.
Yeah, it was just life. And through the power of social media, Facebook, I was in the library. You know, after being separated, divorce final, I'm sitting in the library, and all of a sudden, I get a friend invite, and who it is? Brown Sugar.
Yeah, Brown Sugar.
And when I was in the library, I was in the library like this, like, I'm looking at the computer like this, like, ooh! Sorry. And I was like, oh my God, it was her. And this is where I want to say where love kicks in. Love kicks in. I never lost the love I've had for her because over the years we did see each other. Yeah. And it's always been in passing.
Yes.
It's been in passing.
In slow motion.
In slow motion.
Excuse me, as I always say. In slow motion, because over the years, even when I was in my first marriage, and I would travel with my church, and I would see him, it would always be like in slow motion. It would be like, hey, and he would say, hey, and it would be in my mind, it was always like in slow motion. And so that's something that I will always remember through our marriage is like, it's like a storybook. Like every time I saw him, it was like in slow motion because he played on the marching band also. And so when I would be in the parade during our Memorial weekends and stuff, and I would see him, he'd be like, hey, and that's how it always was. So we did see each other often, you know, even when we were in our first marriages. But it was always cordial. It was always, hey, how you doing? How are you? So good to see you. Respectfully, and it would just be in passing every single time. And like he said, he approached me when we were young. One thing that always stuck out to me in regards to him was, out of all the group of guys that was on his band, he was like the nicest one. Respectful, always nice, always had a smile on his face. And that's something that just always stood out with me and my friends. So when we began to conversate, and they're like, "Oh, you're talking to someone now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm talking to Frank." And they're saying, "Nice Frank," and that's how we say nice Frank, because he was always so sweet and such a gentleman. When we were in passing.
Yeah. So glad you're doing good, man. Glad you're good. Thank you for stopping through. This is my wife, Brown Sugar. This is my show, Married with Spit. But when it came down to it, is when we finally connected and we was talking. I knew I loved her. I knew I loved her. I just knew it. But when you finally know that you were in love, I mean that gotta have love. One time during our dating phase, she visited. I was living in Charlotte at the time. She came to Charlotte and visited, and we spent time with each other. And I think God wanted us to spend just a little bit more time with each other, because immediately literally, after the weekend was over, like our weekend was over, it was a blizzard. And it shut the airport down. And so she ended up spending an extra 2 days?
An extra day.
Yeah, extra day. It was an extra day.
One extra day before.
And, yep. And then, so when I saw her, and I'm looking at her sleeping, and she was just so, it's like, the sun was perfect. The glow was all up, just like there, and
I'm
all
sure
I heard,
it didn't look like that, y'all.
it was like, oh. I mean, you would thought it was some birds, animated birds, the blue jays just flying around her, and I'm just looking at her all like, oh. So here's the thing: when I took her to the airport, and when she looked me in my eyes, I think that was the killer. It was like, nail in the coffin, done, you're mine. We hugged each other, and when we came back, she looked directly into each other's eyes, and she took my breath away. I couldn't breathe. I was like, and
oh, that's so sweet, man.
she took my breath away. So when I was like, well, get there safe, text me, call me, we kissed, and that guy that's all, I got your luggage, he all quick trying to get you in. Like, dang, nigga, slow down. Anyway, she kisses and she walks off, and I go to my car, and I wanted to look back one last time to see her, and when I looked back, she was already in the airport, and I was in my car, and I started bawling. I was crying, like, I mean, straight up. Look, a real man will cry. I don't care what nobody say. I was like, tears, snot, I was done. I could not, my whole soul was messed up. And I said, I gotta have her in my life. That's when I knew that I was in love with her. That's when I knew I was truly, truly in love with her. Because I couldn't go on another second without her in my life. All this come for a couple of days and gone. Nope, I can't do that no more. I need forever.
But I think a part of that,
I need forever.
I think a part
I need forever. No, okay, go ahead.
Y'all see this. So I think a part of that I need forever for the both of us, when we started our relationship, it was not based off of lust. It was not based off of all the material. It wasn't based off of those things. It was truly based off of a friendship. Like, it was a friendship first. And I always say that.
I mean, we played tennis.
Yeah, we played tennis together. I mean, we did a lot of fun friendship type stuff at the beginning. And so it wasn't about sex. It wasn't about, really. No, it wasn't. Like, in my opinion, it was more like it was real. What we had was real at the beginning, but it wasn't based off of all of those, material of what he can do for me, what she can do for me, or how he look, or how I, look, or something like that. It was more so trust, and it was a genuine friendship.
Keep talking.
It was a friendship at the beginning. And not only that, we had our open conversations about being honest at the beginning. I would ask the question at the beginning, like, when we were just friends, not even engaged. Like, is there something that you kind of feel like you might be ashamed to talk about or to tell me? Because in my opinion, it's like I'm giving you an opportunity to go ahead, and you might be holding something and you might, man, I don't know how to tell her this. And I look at me, but I put that out there. I said, hey, is there something that you want to tell me? something that you might feel like it might change the level of our relationship or how I look at you, I'm not going to look at you differently. I just feel like I feel like there's something you need to tell me. And there was moments where he just came out and he told me stuff and was like, man, I'm so glad you asked that because I didn't think, I didn't know how to come out and say something like that. So I think that kind of stuff is very important.
Me personally, when it came down to something like that, I was like, being honest with each other. I think, me personally, it's like, will I be safe telling you this?
Will I be safe telling you this?
And I'm not trying to keep a secret or anything like that. It's that, do I feel that is there security in what I'm about to tell you? And will I be safe? Not saying you're going to be like, choking me. No, but I'm just saying I think that's where the key thing is when we're trying to be communicating and be honest with each other and open with each other is, do I feel safe? Whatever that thing is, do I feel safe telling you this? Do I feel, and then also, do I feel comfortable?
Do I feel comfortable, right?
Do I feel comfortable telling you this? And then here's another part of communication. Do I feel that it'd be safe with you, me telling you this?
Right. Is this something that you're possibly going to hold over my head and try to use it against me in the future? Is
there security in you of me telling you this one thing? So, and that's where you have to consider the person that you're with. Like, you have to consider the person when it comes down to communication. Yes, communication is key. But like I was saying earlier, sometimes communication can be good and communication can be bad.
If you don't know how to communicate.
If you don't know how to communicate. But that part right there, I'm going to say this. You can learn when you're cordial with each other. You can learn how to communicate better. It's going to take time because you get to learn each other more and more on how you communicate with things. Now, is certain things that need to be said, as far as like, baby, do I look slim in this? No, you're fat. No, no. You like, well, baby, no. Life, see,
go ahead,
life. But you're like, baby, look, you look beautiful in that. Okay, don't put nobody on the spot to try to make them lie to you.
Right.
And then if you asking the question, here's the thing: if you ask a question, you better be prepared. If you want the honesty, you better be prepared for the answer.
You have to be prepared for the answer.
That's the thing. You have to be prepared for the answer.
You're gonna get your feelings hurt.
You will get your feelings hurt.
I just think honesty and communication is key because he knows that if it's something that I don't like, I'm going to tell him.
Yeah.
Now, did that come right away? No. I'm going to be honest. In my first marriage, I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't. I'm just being honest. And he didn't know how to communicate. Yep. So it was just a whole bunch of miscommunication going on in that whole relationship. You know what I'm saying? But after the relationship, after it was over, I took the time to learn more about myself. And I think that's very important too when you're going into a relationship is if you're coming out of a relationship that did not work, that was not successful, you need to take a moment and push the pause button on dating and getting, I think you just need to push the pause button and learn more.
Welcome to the Goon Squad. We got a new goon. Hey! Welcome to the Goon Squad. Goons are in the house. The goons are in the house. Let's go, baby. Okay. All right.
So, learning more about yourself. That way, when you learn more about yourself, when you go into the next relationship, you can go in not knowing things about yourself, whether it be something that they might like or something that they might dislike. But at least you know about yourself. And that way, when you go into the next relationship, you'll have a little bit more to offer,
Yeah.
And so I think that's important. So when we got married, you know, we got this thing where we say, hey, can we have a moment of truth? Not saying that we're not honest with each other, but that's just a
we will always say pillow talk.
Pillow talk, moment of truth.
Yep.
And when that is said, moment of truth, we know, okay, someone may say something that you really don't want to hear, but it's just being honest. You know, so he say,
hey, thank you for the 50 embers. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So he may say, hey, babe, say he had purchased a suit or something. And he looks good in suits all the time. And for the most part, he looks good in suits. Anyways, I have to compliment you. So he say, babe, how this shirt look or how this suit look? And I know for a fact it don't look good on him. I'm just going to say no.
Yeah, she'll do that.
I'm just going to say no. Or if he even says something to me that I did not like or I didn't appreciate, or I may feel like he had said, you know, it came out the wrong way, a little bit too harsh, I just tell him, hey, babe, you know, earlier today when you were talking to me about whatever situation, I don't like the way you said that to me. I took offense to it. You know, and it's not
if I can interject. See, the thing is, I didn't go at first. I was a little defensive.
Very.
But I had to quickly, and it didn't take long. I had to quickly, because the thing is, I love her. And I said, hold on, let me make the adjustment. I said, let me listen. Okay. If it came across, I considered her feelings, how she received what I said, and then sometimes I'll explain myself as to why I said it that way, and then we have a better understanding. Or I just flat out like, babe, whatever she thought. I mean, I know it was not me, and that's not in my DNA. I'm like, I am sorry. Whoa, that's not it. You know, so I just want to interject.
A little bit of background about myself. I'm the youngest of my family, of all of my siblings. And my father and my mother, they are like old generation. My father worked, my mom stayed home and raised us. But my father raised both of us girls to be very independent, to be very outspoken, you know, and like we speak our mind, we don't hold our tongue. And that's not always good when you're in a relationship, you know, because...
That's what I said. Sometimes it's good communication and
that's
it's bad
not always
communication.
good because it's like you're all, as a woman, to the man, it's looking like, oh, you're trying to be in control of everything, you know? And so I had to learn over time, like, even though my father instilled this, you know, independent, strong, outspoken young lady, in a marriage, sometimes you got to know when to kind of like, okay, let me just...
Now, I got to put this in.
Let me sit back and let him do what he do.
She told me this, though. She did tell me this. Her dad, even though he's still all this in her, when we got married, she told me, said, let your husband be a man.
Yeah.
Because it was at a point in time when I was like, babe, you are really control, like, whoa, like you want me to, okay, you want me to turn the sink on, you want to hold my hand, turn the sink on forward, you know, so you want me to scrub the dishes counterclockwise or clockwise? I mean,
he's right. Everything that he's saying is right. And that's why I was also making mention when you're going into a relationship that having time to yourself and learning more about yourself, and also to be able to release and break some of the soul ties that you may have developed in that previous relationship.
And that's gonna be another subject. And talking about soul ties.
Yeah,
so that's
because
gonna be another subject.
When you're carrying other stuff from your previous relationship and how that person treated you into the new relationship, that's where that, you know, trying to be controlling. And I'm being honest. And my ex-husband was trifling. He didn't do nothing to help. And it's like, I had to do everything. So when we got married, even though he never really expressed those kind of behaviors, it's like I fell into that mode. Like, okay, I gotta be in control when I really didn't have to. Just way overstepping my boundaries.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. But that's where that communication comes in. That because you say, babe, I don't like that. I don't like when you you trying to tell me what to do. I don't like that. Now he could walk around and have an attitude all day, and I won't even know what it's about because he just ain't gonna tell me what I did wrong. Who has time for that? That takes too much energy.
Mm-hmm.
It takes too much energy.
It does.
You know?
It does. And that and the thing is, like I said, when it came down to communication and stuff, and some things I do hold in because, like I said, sometimes I'm like, okay, that's just a waste of energy trying to address that, because I know I learned her and I know how she is. So certain things I get, okay, I still love you. Oh, you're so cute. You're so pretty. And I don't say that as like sarcastically or no. When I say that stuff, I mean it. So when she like anything, the thing is, it's like I have done some things that has set her off, and I know she ain't tell me like don't get it twisted. Like she's like soon the feeling come, boom. She's coming out and telling me. No, I know that sometimes she was like. I just need 5 minutes alone right now because I don't want your company. I need 5 minutes.
And you can do that when you mature.
Yeah.
You can say, I don't, and I said it to you, I don't like you right now. I don't like you right now. I'm gonna need like 20 minutes.
Oh, thank you for looking at me.
Thank you so much. I say, I'm gonna need 20 minutes. Just leave me alone. And after that 20 minutes is over, in all honesty, I'm good.
Now, she did this before. When whatever time it was.
Because it gets real like that. It does. It gets real like that in a marriage. Each day is different. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you love each other and you are willing to work out all the different kinks, I mean, it's worth it. Yeah, it can be very, very successful.
Yeah. We're going on May 24th will be our anniversary, our 10-year anniversary. And this is the reason why we're trying to do this show. Because we believe we have enough experience in our lives, especially dealing with a failed marriage and now with a successful marriage.
Well, there you go.
We know both ends. And even in the failed marriage, we do take partial.
Oh yeah.
Take partiality about that.
Oh yeah.
Because there's some things we could have done different that could have helped. But
yes.
I tell you this, God was in control. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I take, I always say I take full responsibility. I take partial responsibility for some of the things that happened in my previous marriage because, of course, I just think I think when you go into a marriage, it has to be about you and your spouse. Mm-hmm. If you're going to talk to people, talk to someone who's been married for like 25 years or more. If you got to talk to somebody about getting some advice. And when you talk to that person, make sure it's you and your spouse together getting advice from those people. And not allowing your parents or your siblings or your friends to have a say-so enough to where it's going to impact your marriage.
I like explain it this way. What she said right there, this was explained to me by my late great grandfather, Apostle Stevenson. He said this, and the reason why he was married to Big L for so long, because she passed away before him. That was my great grandmother. She passed away before him, but he would say this. He said, "Your marriage is your perfect bowl of soup Your perfect pot of soup. That's what it is. That's your marriage right there. Now, when you're allowing somebody else to come in and throw in their ingredients, and then somebody else come in and throw their ingredients, and they want to throw their ingredients in there, somebody else want to throw their ingredients, he said, then now the whole soup is messed up.
Yeah.
And now, the only choice you want to do, instead of trying to fix the soup, you want to go ahead and throw the whole soup away.
You don't even want it.
You don't even want it no more.
And that's the truth.
And that's the honest to God truth. And that's what a lot of marriages where it goes wrong, because they're allowing a lot of other people from the outside to throw ingredients into their soup. Now,
or
it's nothing wrong.
Influence.
Yeah, influence, right. Like, so it's nothing wrong when you do it as a couple, getting advice as a couple. But sometimes you get steered wrong when you try to go separately as an individual, and somebody will tell you something over here, and then that husband over there hearing for something over there, and by the time y'all come back and bring no ingredients into that marriage, is even more of a mess, because those pieces of advice does not mesh with each other.
No, and you don't even know what happened. Excuse me, you don't know what happened in their marriage to contribute to why they even think about it on that, that way. Right. So that's why it's very important to just keep it a sacred union between you and your spouse, and not be influenced. You cannot base your marriage off of other people's marriages. You can look on from the outside looking in and say, oh, they look like they got it together. Oh, I want to be like that. No, because you don't know what it took for them to get to that point.
They probably just got through with an argument. And now they're happy it's over with.
You have no clue what happened prior to that, where they are in their marriage at that time. So you cannot. I just say, don't base your relationships and your marriages off of what everyone else is doing, because you don't know what is all involved to contribute to that. And when you do that, it's almost like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and y'all already know what happens when you try to keep up with the Joneses. It just don't work out.
It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out at all.
Yeah, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, so right now, so when it comes down to communication, another part I said earlier is being cordial with each other.
Yes.
Being cordial. And that's the problem with a lot of marriages, as well as a lot of arguments and fights going on, because they're not trying to be cordial with each other. They're trying to keep taking shots.
Yeah, it's
win.
A competition.
It's not a competition.
It's not.
It should be y'all against the world.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
That's the fight.
That's the fight, y'all against the world. And the thing is that right now, even in this moment right now, I am very blessed right now, because I love doing this. I love creating content. I love doing this. And I have my wife now this is major support, coming in and supporting me, versus why you got to do this all the time? Why you got to always stream? Do you got to do this? Do you have to do this? Do you got to do it? Won't you go do this? She comes. Sexy. But she just, but she's here, and we doing this show together, and I'm really proud of this show. This being our first show.
Yes. We've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah, we talked about this for a while. And then whenever we're trying to get stuff, there's always something that got in the way. Life. And that's going to be another subject. Life. Life, when you come in at a certain part of our life right now, where a lot of things can happen and can actually shake up a marriage.
Yes.
It can really shake up a marriage.
Yes, I would like to. I wanted to say something about what you said about being supportive. I just find it very important to be supportive in this, because I know this is something that brings you happiness. Now, that's something we're going to talk about now. If you know it's something that your spouse just absolutely loves to do, why not be supportive in it? If it's not going to be something that's going to hurt them, hurt you, or hurt the family, if it's not negative, why not be supportive to them? You know what I'm saying? If I see that it's bringing you happiness and joy, I'm going to want to say, oh man, you know, what can I do to help? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, he can be out there doing something else. And when I say something else, I'm not, you know, a lot of times people say, oh, well, long as he's here with me, you know, I'm not even speaking on that. He can be out doing something.
Well, there you go.
Completely off the charts. That's just so bad that will bring so much negative attention to himself, to negative attention to his family. You know what I'm saying? And he's not. So he's here doing something positive. So of course I'm going to support him in that. He supported me when I was in school.
Oh yeah.
100%. He supports me on this journey that I'm on with my mother and being her caregiver. He supports me in that.
And the support that I'm giving, I'm also helping.
Yeah, and I mean helping big time.
Well, there you go.
How, and I just don't know how, y'all, things would be if he was not so supportive on this journey with my mother.
Yeah. And that's why I said we at this point of our life where we definitely have to keep supporting each other. Because this part of our life right now is like, you know, one, we got teenagers growing up. Now we're about to go into the college stages now. You know, we have teens. We still got young teens that's going to be going through those years.
Yeah.
Then we have our parents. You know, my mother, my father, they're still in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I speak with them about practically every day. But they're not in perfect health. You know,
right.
they do need some help. And that takes a toll on me and that affects me. That's why that's another thing that's why I love her support, because when your spouse is feeling like, you know, they feeling down, you know, you already got that connection. Be there and support them by lifting them up. It's going to be okay. Say positive things, you know. The worst thing you can do is ignore them.
That's the worst thing.
That is the worst thing you can do is ignore them. And when I need, like, I'm strong, but I do need that communication.
Yeah.
I do need to hear, babe, you're strong. Don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. You know, us men, we're tough. We can take it to the chin, but on the real,
still need to be
that support I need is sometimes I need that verbal support.
Yeah.
Like, babe, you got this. Just take your time. You got it. You got it. Or, babe, you're doing an awesome job. You're a great husband. You're a great father. And then sometimes, like, I take pride in being a great dad. I take pride in that. So she knows that how I feel about that. So in moments where, and I know she get that in the intuition, that little spider sense that, okay, my husband feeling a little bit down and everything. She would come around the corner and say, you are a great husband. Yeah. You're a great father. You know, and I love, and that lifts me up, and I feel like a champion.
Cake
and everything, champion. You know, so like I said, that level of support. Sometimes I do need that. Yeah. I do need that level of support. With her, I've always tried to give her encouraging words, supporting her, and not just the verbal. And I had to learn this. Sometimes on the back end, you may have to take care of some things that she usually do. You're going to have to do it for her to help support her. And
can you be a little bit
specific of that? Okay. Like, she would cook dinner all the time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And she's in school. Yeah. You may want to go ahead and learn how to cook. Yeah. If you don't know how to cook. You might want to. Or every now and then, order something. Yeah. You know,
do whatever you can.
You can to try to take pressure off her. And I had to learn that. Like sometimes I'll be so tired, I just need a day not do anything. And she's out and about all day. And she come back and it was on, you telling me you ain't did not one dish and everything? I was like, I was tired.
And I get it.
You know, but the thing is, she was out, but the thing is, this was what she was doing in school. So I should have did that push myself to get up and get those dishes done so she can feel good. Cause I know how she like to feel good when she comes to a very clean kitchen and the bedroom is straight.
Just when I come home,
she want a clean house.
I just want it to be it won't be chaotic.
That's the thing.
That's all. It
no
don't
chaos.
have to be spick and span, but you know, if I come in, I don't see any dishes in the sink. I know that I can. Even if I wanted to fix me something, okay, I don't have to clean a whole bunch of dishes just to fix me something to eat. Yeah. So yeah, and I appreciate that. Like when he does that, whatever he does, I truly do appreciate. And I had to learn how to be more voice the appreciation, not just say, "Oh, well, thank you," but no, thank you so much for everything that you did today. You are so amazing. Oh my God.
You see this? You see that right there? You see that right there?
I would just say, "Oh, thank you," and I would leave it like that. Yeah. And he'd be like, "You mean I did all of this and that's all you got for me?"
No. Sheba, I did the dishes and everything. And I go, "Hey, baby, I cleaned the kitchen for you." "Oh, thank you." No expression, no emotion, no anointing.
No anointing at all.
None of that. Just, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
Can I get a hug or something, a kiss?
Yeah, and showing the affection in it too, like showing the affection, showing the affection that you really appreciate what they have done for you, because you as a person, you know, you might be able to clean multiple rooms in a day and feel like, okay, I just cleaned the room. But if he cleans the room, you know, that's like amazing in his eyes. He's like, "Man, do you know what I did today?"
You know what? I vacuumed. First of all, no. I put carpet freshener down.
Yeah.
I spread it around. I vacuumed. I made sure the sheets was ironed. I tucked them in and everything. And you worried about a piece of hair on a sink? That's another thing.
We're learning. But it's good though. I mean, it's good communication. We take it.
Well, there you go.
We just take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just taking it one day at a time. That's all.
Yeah, and I can say this is that we're best friends.
Yeah.
We're best friends, you know. And it's nothing in the world that have that type of connection you would have with your spouse. Where, like when we first got married, I'm going to tell this story. When we first got married, me personally, I made sure I had everything because I really pretty much.
Well, there you go.
"Hey, will you marry me?" And I snatched the family straight out of Columbus.
I didn't see it
and
coming.
threw them in an apartment. We went job hunting.
Yeah.
Because I knew she needed a job, so we went to a job fair, and I went with her. And we was in line and everything, and the way we was like interacting with each other, this lady turned around and she was like, "How long y'all been married?" We was like, "What, 2 weeks?"
2 weeks.
It's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
She was like, "Good God, the way y'all act with each other, I thought y'all was married for like 5-10 years." Yeah. Remember she said that? So, but that's the type of connection me and her had. We interact with each other. So my advice to everybody is like when it comes down to communication and support, still at the same time be cordial. Be cordial with each other within it. You know, that is your friend. That is not your enemy.
I depend on him. Like and I say that. I don't care what anybody has to say out there. I depend on my husband. I mean, when we said our vows, for better or for worse, we're a
So
team.
that's-
Yeah, man. We're a team. So I depend on him.
Well, there
And I
you
know
go.
He depends on me, and we don't use each other.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm not just trying to benefit off of what he can do for me. He's not just trying to benefit off of what I can do for him.
Yeah, she's not that type of woman like you be on fire and she be like, throw down your wallet. Must we all suffer? That's not her. No. That's not her. No, that is weird.
No, we're not like that. So I think that's important though because
Matter of fact, where's my wallet?
because we depend on each other. We depend on each other,
Yeah.
and that's very, very important.
It is.
Because when he got sick.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really sick, and it was during that time I really had to think about some things regarding myself and my behavior as a wife. Because when he got sick, when this whole COVID-19 thing started happening, he got sick. We still don't know if he had it or not. Nobody knows because the symptoms that he was having. But he was sick for like 3 whole weeks. Now we've been like he stated before. We've been married for almost 10 years, and in the 10 years, he has caught a cold, a sore throat. It may lasted maybe 2 or 3 days, and then after that, other than that, he's never been sick, ever. He was sick for 3 days, could not eat nothing.
I lost appetite.
Couldn't keep anything down. When he did try to eat, he was running fevers. It was something. Body aches. It was something that I've never seen him go through something like that before.
Headaches, all that.
Now, mind you, during this time, I'm still going and taking care of my mom.
Yep.
And he's here, and I would come home from taking care of mom and just jump right into doing whatever I could possibly do to try to make sure he was okay. Like, pick up stuff from the store, the medications or tissues or we did steam treatments. I mean, I did steam treatment, like all of that.
She came up with this steam.
Like anything that I could do that could break whatever it was that he had going on in his system up. That's what I was trying to do because this is all I could think about, y'all. I could not live without my husband. That was it. Like, I don't care what's going on right now, but
there you go.
My husband. And I know for a fact that God did not allow me to be in a relationship with this man and be approaching 10 years and we not make it. Like, because he was so sick to where I'm sure at some point he probably felt like we need to call 911. But he didn't. But I'm pretty sure he was at that point. Because he was running fevers and everything else. And all I could think about is if he was to call 911 and go in the hospital and me not be able to be there with him, that just would not have worked.
It wouldn't went down.
Went well for either one of us. So, taking things for granted. When he got sick, we couldn't hug each other.
Yeah.
We couldn't kiss each other. We couldn't barely be in the same room with each other.
We didn't even
for
touch
3
each other.
whole weeks. It was like, I can't even give my husband a hug. And that was the worst feeling in the world. Now, this is a man that's always trying to give me a hug. Always trying to rub my butt. Always trying to touchy feel.
I know there's a web show with T-Man.
And always just trying to be touchy feely is what I'm trying to say. And I'm always the one like, I'm like, babe, I'm like, stop.
I don't know what he's talking about.
See what I'm saying? I'm like, babe, stop. Babe, stop. And I do that a lot. But then when he got sick, I was like, oh man, like if I could just give him a hug right now. And so I depend on him. He depends on me. I have to be here for him. He has to be here for me. That's how we look at it.
Mm-hmm. And see, and the thing is,
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet because this is how I look at it. Like as a union, if we don't work this thing out together, if we don't work things out, that's time wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's major time wasted. It's like a waste of time.
Yeah. And that's why I get so blown when I hear somebody that's been married for 25 years, 30 years, and all of a sudden they're divorced. Like, wow, all that time?
Yeah.
And y'all didn't develop anything to gel
Well, there you go.
together?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? What was so bad that divorce was the final answer?
We don't know.
Don't know. Because I'm not the type of person prying in people's business, though, but it's intriguing. Like, what could possibly... Now, I understand maybe 5 within the 5. Even 5, no, I can say 5, yeah. I'm saying like within 5 years, okay, something must have made it happen. It just didn't work out. But 30 years?
Yeah.
30. Nothing with no type of any type of I cannot live without that person, anything of that developed?
Well, there is deal breakers in a marriage. And if that person, even if you've been married for them for 25 years, if they didn't cross the line, they didn't hit one of them deal breakers, then what you gonna do? I mean, I'm not trying to say. You understand what I'm saying? If there's infidelities and there's just something, just like me and you in a relationship, there's just some things that we will not put up with. Mm-hmm. But knowing that, I'm gonna make sure I don't do those things. Mm-hmm. Because I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm like, man. What? Never mind. I'm not going to, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, but I just think, that's why I can't live without you. That's how I feel. And when you got sick, it really just showed me, like a greater appreciation for our marriage. Mm-hmm. Because it was
because my wife sent me a message. My wife sent me a message because I told her one time I'm laying on the couch and I'm just like messed up, and I told her I missed her. I told her, so I miss you, and she's here, but she know how I am with her. Like she told you, I'm always touchy, feely, hug. I'm very affectionate, and that I was not able to hold my wife, not able to kiss my wife, I was missing that. And it wasn't about the sex. It was just being affectionate with my wife. I was missing that. And I said, I miss you. And she sent me a message because here's the thing, since we were married, when it comes down to hugging, I give the affectionate hug. My wife give you the booty out, chest, like boom, 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 side.
The church hug.
The church hug.
The church side hug.
I have to literally turn my wife this way, bring her in, now let's hug. Did she give me the church hug all the time? And then, not just a hug like this, no. She gets look at my hand, look at the hand, the pat. I'm like, I am not a deacon. She give me that type of hug, but she sent me a message. It really touched my heart. She when I got sick, she had even a deeper appreciation of the type of hugs that I would give her because she was missing that. Yeah. And she sent me a message and said, I apologize for, not taking advantage of the hugs that you would give me. And she's like, I really miss those hugs. I really miss you hugging me and loving me the way that you do. And she said, I know it's going to take work because it can't be just done like that. But she's gonna be more appreciative of the hugs that I give her and work on the hugs that she gives me. And then since then, I mean, the hugs, like my wife now will hug me like I'm not going away. I'm not going to the army right now. You know, I'm not being deported, but she will hug, like the hugs is changing, you know. But it's amazing though how God will put you in a situation where when He really wants that, if you really want the marriage to work and everything, He'll put you in a situation where it will help grow the love that you have for each other, on both of you. And when I was sick that whole time, you know, I'm trying to stay positive and keep my spirits up, but you know, missing the love, the affection. I would tell my wife that I just want some TLC, and she said, "I'll give you the TLC."
There you go.
Me, but she was like, I missed it. Like I just wanted, I just like fiend just to get just one time for her to just kiss me on my forehead, just kiss me on my forehead, and I know I would probably feel better if she ever did that. But I could not take that chance to infect her. Right. Whatever I had, I didn't know what I had.
Whether it was just the flu or
cold or pneumonia, I don't know, because it started to get, my breathing was starting to get weak and I was like, no. But I tell you this, the Lord healed my body.
Thank the Lord.
The Lord healed me.
He had mercy, because I don't know what was going on, but I know I had never seen you in that type of condition before, and it really did make me nervous.
And I have been in that type of sickness, being that type of sick, never would happen with me. I have had viral meningitis where I have massive migraines that sent me to the hospital. Hey, welcome to the stream. Mary We Spit, this is my wife, Brown Sugar.
There you go.
I have been that sick before, but not to the point where, I mean, when I was in there, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I was like, Lord, I don't have everything in order. And then now that they even changed me, I was like, I have to get things in order now, because I could truly say I was afraid to die.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going to go. It was, and then everything, it's like everyone around us was like dropping like flies.
I mean, close friends.
Close. That weren't even sick.
And now, boom, gone. And that made her nervous. And to the point she started asking, do you want to get tested? Blah, blah, blah. My thing is, when I was in it, I was talking with the Lord. I said, Lord, I want you to heal me. I want you to get the credit, because I was afraid of the hospital. Yeah. I was afraid of the hospital. Because
we didn't know if you went, I wouldn't have been able to go with you. And I have medical experience. And so anytime he goes somewhere, he always call me, say, hey, babe, this is what they said. And I can kind of tell him, what that really meant. But in this case, I wouldn't have been able to go with you and try to advocate or anything like that. And it really just made us nervous. So all right. So we got about 5 more minutes, and we're going to wrap this first episode up. I believe it was a successful first episode of Married with Spit. Do anybody have any questions they would like to ask right now in these next 5 minutes, within these next 4 minutes? Anybody have any questions for us? Let's take a look. Okay.
There's a delay in this.
Oh, okay.
So, see if anybody have any questions. And I think this is going to be great. This is going to be great. And I thank my wife, Brown Sugar.
I thank you
for being a part of this, and I know this is helping her this is going to help our marriage. And I know, and on the other side, this is her way of supporting me as far as me being a content creator. So now I have 2 steady shows that, along with me streaming, but I've got 2 steady shows, The Father versus Son, which that's going to go on tonight at 10 o'clock. And then I have Married with Spit.
Yes. When are we doing Cooking with Spit?
Cooking with Spit. Now, Cooking with Spit, we probably going to do that next week, Saturday.
Okay.
We're going to do it in the morning. I say, I came back into the room, but I had the TV up and heard y'all. I enjoy listening and learning from y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Lady T, thank you so much, girl.
Thank you.
She's part of the low stress gaming team.
Okay.
So that's
awesome.
fam there. That's fam there.
Thank you so much.
So, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes,
and so, like I say, if anybody have any questions, because we're gonna be wrapping up in about 2 more minutes. But I hope y'all really, really enjoyed the show. We are going to be doing this, so we're going to be back.
Hey.
So we are going to be doing that. We are going to be doing this show every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was a little bit delayed because I had a little trouble with my console trying to stream, so I had to resort to good old Streamlabs on my phone. So I think we're probably going to be doing this way until I can upgrade my equipment and have a better broadcast on the stream and everything. So I really appreciate all the embers.
Thank you.
Lady T with the 100 embers. Thank you so much. And the donations people that gave and everything, that's going to go straight to the stream and helping improve the content that we create. So, any last words you want to say?
Thank you so much for viewing. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. And the next person, like when I go off, I got the auto host going on. That person is on my list, so y'all can go ahead and give them a follow, support them. I like supporting all other streamers. Lady T is one of my mods. She's team, that's why she's green. She's one of my mods. But we really do thank you. Thank you. Y'all have made this a successful first episode of Married with Spit. We have opened up. So next week, what do we want to talk about next week? We talked about communication and then support today. So what do you think about next week? You don't know? We don't know. We'll just make sure y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will let you know probably whatever the episode coming up. But I will remind y'all about the next episode. We are going to do it next week, Saturday at 6 p.m. Yes. And then in the morning, I would say I'll update you on the time. Y'all have a great evening, and I really enjoyed this for real. Thank you. Thank you so much. But next week, Saturday in the morning, probably around 9, we're going to do Cooking with Spit. We're going to do Cooking with Spit. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that back. So that's 3 shows. Y'all hear me, Mixer? 3 shows. I got 3 shows. Mixer, come on. Let's go. But, I got to get my followers up. So, but on behalf of Brown Sugar, the Queen Goon, and Ill Spit 313, we thank y'all so much. And I like to always end my streams like this. Y'all are the greatest. And don't let nobody else tell you any different, all right? We love y'all. Y'all have a good one, okay? Peace. Gotta stop it.